Oh, Megan, I don't know what you think when you get ready before this show. Look at what today's catastrophe was. Look at the fray on that. Got glare. This is it- it's an extension. Like this is you couldn't make this any neater. And the fishtail is like this is you're talking a trend that was 2 years ago. You're like an aging starlet who's trying to recapture her youth, except you're not old. Oh, anyway, top of the hour. Uh, Anna gives a beautifully impassioned speech about how she feels about the terrorism at the Capitol on Wednesday. And she had the ability to make it personal when it was personal, when the attacks were about her. She mentioned people and what that was like, and their hypocrisy. But the event she talked about in global terms, you need to take notes on these kinds of things because you'll remember your impassioned speech was all about how it affected your America and your capital and your party. Anyway, so first topic again, we're talking about the removal of the president, which you are fully in support of. If you'll remember, as soon ago as Monday, when the president over the weekend had tried to coerce the Georgia Secretary of State to change the results of the vote to make it look like he won that state, which is an illegal act. And you said that we should just be ignoring the president and his behavior, that we should move on, dismissing any attempt at a coup or the vast misinformation that he was trying to distribute. So then, that all of that misinformation that he has been trying to distribute, or has been really distributing, led to the violent terrorist takeover of the Capitol on Wednesday, which you were very mad about, but I'm not sure you put those lines together that ignoring him is part of the reason why that was allowed to happen. And you very clearly stated in your opening that you weren't worried about the little things. Well, all those little things like trying to steal an election and a misinformation campaign and allowing nearly 400,000 people to die of a virus that he downplayed for an entire year. And those little things are really part of why we're here now. So, not standing up to those little things is part of the reason why that act that you took so personally against the Capitol building and our governmental norms happened. So, you just, while you're doing your personal reflection, as you spoke about, you might want to think about, your part in that, and your personal reflection about, what are we going to do? How are we going to heal? And what about all those people that aren't going to go away just because Donald Trump isn't president anymore? I think Sonny said very clearly at one point in the program, and I thought very astutely, that it's not about trying to appease them. It's about trying to make them understand that their behavior is abnormal and their behavior is the problem. So it's not about welcoming their ideology, which is based on lies. It's about educating them out of the cult that they've found themselves in. So, first guest, Senator Cotton, I believe. No, Murphy. It was Chris Murphy today. Your first question isn't about any of the immediacy of what is happening with our government and the very, as you said yesterday, the constitutional crisis we find ourselves in. No, your first question is about a publisher deciding to cancel the publication of Senator Hawley's book because they no longer want to be associated with him and the ideas he may want to distribute into the world. Because you're so concerned about cancel culture. It's not cancel culture. It's accountability. His actions helped lead to the result of the terrorist takeover of the Capitol. And this private company says, we don't want to do business with him. That's perfectly fine. Senator Murphy was very clear and very correct that it doesn't take away anybody's First Amendment rights. He can talk and do whatever he wants. He can write, he can self-publish, his First Amendment is not in any way encumbered, but private organizations have the opportunity to say, we don't want to be associated with what you're putting out in the world. And then you had a follow-up question, which was actually the good one, which is where you should have started, about reconciliation and how do we work with, how do the opposing sides work with each other in government. And again, Senator Murphy replied very correctly. That's up to Josh Hawley, and that's up to the seditionists. That's up to the people who are dead set on blocking progress and are not willing to compromise. So, you know, and that, quite frankly, is a lot on what you call your party. So, you know, maybe direct some of your attention towards those people in the Republican Party that are not standing up for the ideals that you think that the party should be based upon, and get some real action. But you know, kowtowing to the 74 million people who voted for Trump isn't going to help anybody. A lot of their decision making is based on fabrication. So, you know, we need to address that more than we need to assuage their concerns. So think about that while you're doing some self-reflection about how letting the little things contributed to where we are, and how you can work on the healing and coming to the table with truth and reconciliation, instead of your constant complaining and attacks on the far-right liberals that you're so concerned about. Who, by the way, I'm far-right, I'm sorry, far-left liberals, that was my mistake, who, by the way, are not very far-left. The progressives in this country are really just looking for basic decency. There's nothing radical about the progressive liberal agenda, but I know you don't want to see it that way. But give yourself the weekend to do some thinking. And seriously, fix the hair.